All right. All right. So, hello
We're
again.
gonna do it shirtless.
Well, I don't have a mu- webcam on, so the only way they know that I'm shirtless is the fact that you just said it,
Oh, you're recording
as
while
I'm
I'm
actually recording.
sorry.
No, this is actually genuinely funny right now. Hello, everyone. It is shirtless laptop mangaka here, as was so rudely pointed out. But I want to do something funny because the patch 2.2 notes just dropped for Granblue. So this is the Willness patch. So he's going to be added to the game. It's also the patch that adds EX versions of Gran, Djeeta, and Narmaya, and they seem to be completely playable characters in like rank mode and stuff. So in a way, we just got 4 new characters added to the game, and I've seen some footage of like the EX characters. I might have to look into trying to lab and break those characters down a little bit more. If you guys want to see something like that, do let me know because I plan on just going through the patch notes in this video, and then of course doing my patch comparison in upcoming videos. So all this stuff is like wellness stuff. The X characters are available to play in like pretty much all the game modes, right? So um, they are ranked eligible, which probably means that they're tournament eligible as well, which could be interesting. Depends on how like the whole kit goes. Um, there's some like changes with the stores and stuff like that, bug fixes. Most of these just seem to be lobby and replay stuff. And yeah, let's go ahead and look into what they're trying to do here. I think they misspelled raining, actually. I think there's a G in raining. Rain in, or is it? Oh, did they do it right? Okay, no, no, no. All right. I was thinking of the other rain word. All right. Today I learned. Anyways. Crumple state, universal adjustment. Hit stun when crumpled from standing state is now the same duration as hit stun when crumpled from crouching state. Okay, so there was a difference between the two. So that's probably like a nice little fix. Not sure if that's going to be something I'll be able to really like demonstrate, but might be worth mentioning. And let's go ahead and go through. So they kind of just said that they wanted to. Let's see. Yeah, so they're nerfing characters that were a little overpowered, and buffing characters. Excuse me. All right, we got pretty small roster actually. This gives me a lot of positive hope that I'm not going to die at the end of this month because Guilty Gear Strive is also getting a balance patch, and they're doing like a lot of system mechanic changes. So I might be able to get the Granblue videos done pretty quickly. So this is good. This is nice for me. Djeeta. Our changes to Djeeta focused up around expanding our combo options after landing initial hit, as well as making it easier to connect into those options. We reduced the startup on the medium and heavy versions of Vorpal Blade. That would be like her Rekka series, if I remember, making it easier for their normal versions to connect into a combo hit on counter hit, even when landed at max range. Age version in particular can now be used as a stable combo option after landing a far standing heavy counter hit, with the second hit's faster startup compensating for situations where the first hit whiffs. Um, for her unique skill, we increased the knockback on counter hit to make flops in the corner, such as close standing light, easier and more stable. That's nice. Since it was often too easy for opponents to counter um, her follow up to the unique with a crossover, we've changed the medium version to a stationary property. Oh, this isn't her. Excuse me. This is her fireball. This is her fireball, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, I'm trying to remember like the names of the moves, and I saw the U and assumed it was just her unique attack. You change the medium version to a stationary projectile that will remain in front of Djeeta. It will still advance across the screen if it clashes with an opponent's projectile, giving it more utility. Oh, how interesting. How interesting. That's going to be a little weird to play with. All right, so the medium version of Fireball, it's now stationary, but it will advance if it clashes with an opponent's projectile. So this is like an anti-projectile tool for Djeeta. So you shoot a fireball at her, she can react to it with her medium fireball, clash with it, and then fire this fireball back. That's very interesting. I wonder like what the situation would look like. The startup was reduced by 15 frames. Wow, 26 frames startup. Total frames, it's now takes 51 frames to perform as opposed to 66. That was a very slow fireball, like a whole second to do a fireball. Good God. Active frames have been reduced from 80 frames to 14. Active frames after clashing with another projectile have been set to 80 frames. Okay, so she might be able to move very quickly after this. That's a very interesting way of doing it. Ultimate knockback on hit has been increased. This will result in greater knockback mid-screen, increased wall bounce, rebound on counter hit. No change to the follow-up window on hit. Medium Volver Blade has a startup reduction by 1. Okay, it's very minor, but that can be something that would be fun to demonstrate in like a patch video. H startup on a second hit has been reduced only in instances where the first hit is whiffed, 25 frames to 22 frames. Okay. Very small changes for Djeeta. So already looking at this patch, like if other characters are like this might have to be a single video, which I guess would be fine. Lancelot. For Lancelot, we took a close look at where he was being limited by his skills and normal attacks and made several adjustments that should give him that extra bit of reach, both damage-wise and in terms of his options when performing combos or neutral. We've slightly extended the hitbox on the 6th frame of Standing Light, which should allow him to land more hits that previously wouldn't have connected. To give him further close-range combo options, we've also changed Crouching Light to be cancelable into Crouching Medium. What? Like cancelable? Like you can Gatling that? Is there another character in the game that can Gatling normals like that? Tag the timestamp in a comment and elaborate on this one, right? That's kind of weird. As for Southern Cross, aside from increasing its overall damage, we changed the medium version to launch foes on counter hit, expanding Lancelot's follow-up options. Could be nice. Which move is his Southern Cross? Again, actually, I'm gonna have to pull up Dust Loop real quick. Skills, Southern Cross. Okay, yeah, so it is his Rekka series. So yeah, this could be good because like if you get better rewards for counter hit, that means it's better for frame traps. With W Worgenstrom, Fireball. We've adjusted so it no longer can exit the screen during the first 5 frames. It should make it a more appealing corner Okizeme options in situations such as after a normal throw. So you could like get some meaty fireball sets with this? Interesting. Standing Light. Hitbox during active frames expanded forward slightly. That's good. More range is good. Crouching Light, cancelable and Crouching Medium during the later half of the move, and Crouching Light into Crouching Medium is a true block string. I wonder what sort of value that has, actually. The Medium Fireball can exit the screen. His damage on his Rekkas, they seem to have gone up by 100 damage on each one, so considering that there's 3 hits, it's a 300 damage increase on the light version, as well as like the medium version. First hit launches foes. Second hit, increased damage. Same with the third hit. Same with the EX versions, going up by 100 damage across the board. Vertical hitbox for the third active frame has been slightly extended. Only applies at the second hit of Southern Cross successfully hit. When Lancelot hits an airborne foe. Okay, I guess maybe sometimes this could drop out. So they're trying to stabilize it. Fourth and hit and the finisher also had 100 damage increase. So quite a lot of damage, right? Like when you think about it, the light and medium version have a damage increase of 300, and the EX version has a damage increase of 500, which is substantial. Ultimate Southern Cross also has a just increase of 500 damage. Travel speed and distance have been increased. Turbulence. Turbulence being okay, his teleport shenanigan stuff. Horizontal teleport distance has been increased when the foe is at long range. Now crosses up more easily when used close to the foe. Okay, interesting. Um, medium and heavy have the same thing, minus like the cross up when used up close. And it's a long range thing. Okay, so they're giving him like some better skip neutral potentially here. Now behaves consistently where the phone is grounded or airborne when hit at close range. Okay, so that'll be something to break down there. Yeah, from the look of this stuff, like if I do these videos individually, they're gonna be like 2 second blips. Not even 2 seconds. Like a 2 minute blip. The Granblue, this might be a single patch video, which would be fine. Percival, I know that he's gotten a couple of nerfs. I want to see what else they've done to him though. Jesus, he's got a lot of text. With Percival, we noticed his opponents could lack counterplay options against some of his skills, and that certain skills of his were seeing much more frequent usage than others. We made our changes to him with the goal of adjusting the balance between his offense and defense. Ultimate Unzunden, that's his fireball, often left opponents with little counterplay, so we made it possible to perform a brave counter if the first hit is guarded. That was something that I did read on Twitter over Evo weekend when people were playing the new build. If successful, the flames will disappear. That's big. So previously, like Percival, you could drop Flame Carpet, point blank range, right? He'd be like +6 in your face. you'd be on the carpet. You could brave counter him to get him off of you, and but you'd still be burning on the carpet. Like you would always guarantee lose life in this situation. And now if you do that, the flame disappears. That makes brave counter way more appealing against Percival. And that's a big gut to that move as well. Like he almost wants to space this out now and use it only in the corner as opposed to like mid screen. Because I think I heard that was also a counter hit state, which should be like a hard knockdown for the opponent to then just take their Oki. So like this is a big nerf, very big nerf. Hopefully maintain the strength of the skill while also allowing for counterplay from the opponent. Yeah, I think Percival's gonna have to space this out now and like use it as like a die in the corner kind of option. In addition, we've adjusted the active frames of the medium and heavy versions of Platson, which, if I remember right, is his Rekka, is his slide dash series. Um, Learning how to navigate Dust Loop. Forgive the light mode setting on my laptop. I don't know how to change it right now. Percy, Percy. There you are. I should know where he is. Like, for good lord, section is still being written. We need people to contribute to Dust Loop. Do I need to get up in here? Good lord. Um, Skills, Platson. No, his DP, excuse me. Okay, so this is his DP. Adjusted the active frames of his DP so they can no longer hit an opponent who has evaded. These adjustments should also fix the unintended outcome of the skill hitting an opponent who has evaded after a clash. Ah, okay, that could be annoying. I see that. As for improvements, we've reduced the knockback on dash heavy to make it easier to perform a follow-up. Okay, that's nice. As well as extending the range in which the foe will enter the guard state when the dash H is performed. Okay, so they're increasing the proximity block. So he's more likely to stop you from retreating in neutral, meaning that, he'll make you block this as opposed to you stepping out of range and whip punishing it. We've also extended the duration of M Lord's Strike, allowing the timing of its follow-ups to be delayed further. Okay, bigger windows for messing with the timing. Could be better brave counter baits or something. With Zorason, I think this is his stocks. We've stabilized his travel speed. Nope, this should be his fireball? No, I mean I literally said the name earlier. What is his Zorason? Oh, okay, it's this move. Okay, so it's his heavy attack. Yo, they better. This shit does so much damage. Like it's not even funny how much it does. We've stabilized its travel speed and made clean hits easier to land, which should make medium Lord Strike a more attractive option rather than solely using heavy Lord Strike all the time. We've also improved Ultimate Zerasen to be more advantageous on a clean hit. This should give it a wider variety of uses, such as for corner combos. Okay. So it seems like some buffs and nerfs. Dash heavy, grounded pushback distance has been reduced. Range at which the foe enters the guard motion has been extended. Pushback distance on block and on hit. Oh yeah, this is like on hit. So we'll see what pickups he gets. That'll be a fun comparison. Ultimate and Zunden, they now may perform a brave counter, guarding the first hit and before the second hit lands. Before the second hit lands. So I wonder if this means he's going to be able to do like mix-ups with ultimate skills on you. I might have to lab that. Medium, second active frame and onward of the third hit will no longer hit grounded foes. Second active and onward of the third hit will no longer hit active foes, right? So just demonstrating with that. Medium Lord Strike, travel distance has been increased by 6 frames, so that could be substantially more distance. It also increases the window which follow-ups may be performed. Zerace in all versions. Travel speed has been adjusted to a fixed value, regardless of the travel speed of Lord Strike. Extend the skill's reach, making clean hits easier to land. So I'll have to compare those side by side. So when it's buffed, Zerasen, damage has been increased. You really buffed Zerasen. Well, the medium, I guess off of the medium version, so it's a little more attractive. We'll see if this comes up with any use cases. I mean, you kind of just want to do the heavy version to just do like a massive wombo combo. Unless you can land this off of some of like your jab confirms. Ultimate Zerasan pushback on block has been reduced. Causes wall bounce on a clean hit in the corner. Oh, interesting. You can launch it. I wonder how far this is because this might be a from mid screen to corner combo routing option for him now. Damage scaling of the clean hit is adjusted to 70%, the same as third hit combo scaling. Clean hit damage scaling when used as a combo starter has been adjusted to 50%. So because you're able to combo off of this more often, they are scaling it preemptively just to make sure that's in line. Combo limit value has been adjusted from 0 to 3. Foe's down duration of the clean hit has been reduced by 12 frames. Recovery of it after a clean hit has been reduced by 12 frames. Allows for follow-ups to be performed after a wall bounce, so will have no effect on frame advantage mid-screen. Okay. Okay, so, I mean, Maybe this just means that Percival is no longer ultimate Nzundin dispenser. Might be some other things here. I'd have to kind of really look and see if this is going to change like some of that game plan from him. But again, very strong character. Uh, I know, is it Terrara? Is that the? I think I'm mispronouncing the name, but he's the Siegfried Percival player. I think he just got a third at Evo this weekend, so it should be good. Metera, I wonder what they're going to do to her. For Metera, we've adjusted her ultimate skills, which were too often creating situation in which she was at a continuous advantage. Okay, so they're going to be nerfing her. We've also made changes to other parts of her moveset to improve their usability with the aim of giving her more options in battle. Alright, so some nerfs and buffs. Previously, Ultimate the Great Fall would push the foe to a fixed distance on hit, making it an invincible reversal and zoning tool all in one. We've changed it to leave the foe closer after a close range hit. That's actually, yeah, that was while this changes Metera's risk reward ratio in the corner, it also now gives it the option of performing close range Okizemi with jump attacks by using Zephyr after the knockdown. Okay, I kind of like this a little bit more because like say you weathered the storm of all of Metera's projectiles, and then she just found the right moment to ultimate DPU. You were like forced back like almost to full screen, and then you just had to do it again. So she's still able to get rewards from it, but now it's like she has to go in. She either has to spend time backing up, or she has to just run some Oki on you, which she has plenty of good Oki options. She can set up the butterflies, the seals, do some strike throw. She has like the float high low mix stuff too. So like this isn't bad. It's definitely going to mean that she just can't like guarantee zone you all the time, which is nice. Especially once you get in. Like once you get in, Metera has to actively like disengage from you in order to create that zoning space, as opposed to just ultimate Great Fall. Ultimate Ethereal Seal was giving Metera too much of an extended advantage, so we've reduced its duration. Okay, fair. As for Light the Great Fall, we've reduced its startup to make it a more viable option in certain situations. We've also increased the hit stop in the heavy version, making it easier to combo it with Ultimate Starry Sky. Okay, so could be some new Metera routes. Dash heavy. Okay, this is something they didn't mention. Active frames have been increased by 3, so from 4 to 7. Overall duration and frame advantage are unchanged. This might mean it's just better. Pushback on block has been increased. Okay, interesting. That would be something to compare. Light Great Fall is 4 frames faster. Heavy Great Fall hit stop has been increased when they hit during the slowdown of an ultimate skill. Well, specifically in this instance, the Great Fall ultimate now drops the foe in place on range of close hit, leave Metera and at a reduced advantage, and has been reduced by 60 frames. So this used to last 5 seconds, and now this will last 4 seconds. A 1 second difference. It's something. I mean, it's one less second of her being able to play mind games with you. I think this is kind of fine. I don't think the DP is obviously the biggest nerf to Metera here, but she should still pretty much be like the same character as before. A little better combo routing potentially. Again, I'll have to kind of look at that. Ferry. Okay, I know there's another change here, but I'm interested in what else they've done. Changes we made to parts of Ferry's moveset in version 2.0 improved her ability to poke and counterattack more than we intended, so we're bringing those back in line. We're also taking the opportunity to adjust the behavior of some of her moves. Our previous improvements to the startup and recovery of far standing light boosted its strength as a poke, so we extended its hurt box to increase the risk of being interrupted by the opponent's attacks. I swear, there's like some matchups where she could win almost by pressing this exclusively. Or at least some situations in matchups. Like if you were like a close range grappler like Ladiva, your Ferry could just like far light, far light, far light. Granted, there's more to the matchup than that, but so that's good. That's a fair nerf. We'll see how big it is. Purpose of heal being a possible follow up to light Gespenst was to provide Ferry an option to break out of disadvantageous situations. However, our changes to our normal attacks in version 2.0 resulted in it being used much more commonly, so we've removed the possibility. We've also increased the recovery of light Gispent on whiff. Lastly, we've increased the hit stun for the traveling component of GG Geddon to make follow-ups easier to perform after a mid-air hit. Far standing light, startup hurt box has been extended forward. That'll be interesting to compare. Spent, which I think is like where she kind of latches onto you. Where's the okay, there it is. The Weight Watchers ad ganked me all. I could not figure my way around it. You can tell I'm funny sometimes. Um yeah, so guess spent, yeah, it's this, right? So then you could do uh guess spent into heal. Why? Yeah, okay, so you could go guess spent into that. That was a follow-up. Recovery and whiff has been increased by 3 frames. Again, this means that she's a lot, it's a lot less safe to throw out. Can no longer follow up with heal, just the light version. So I had to look and see. I don't know what Ferry has to do to link into the other versions, but this does mean you have to go into medium or heavy version. And I think this basically means like off of her lights she can't confirm, but I'm not a Ferry player. I do know that people talked about that you couldn't do that, and that is a big deal in her kit. I'll have a better understanding of that once I do some labbing and mess around with that. Light GG get him. Hit stun has been increased by 4 frames, 8 to 12. This is pre-deployment, so when GG's on the way to you. Has not been affected by hit stun. Mid-air hit stun has been increased from 14 to 30 frames. Good lord, that's a lot. So I guess if you get caught jumping, it's easier for Ferry to catch you. And it's the same thing with the medium version. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of these characters, like I would argue maybe Percival could deserve his own video, but like, why do that when these characters can be covered in like 2 minutes? I think it's gonna be one video. Soriz. I'm actually interested to see what they do with Soriz here. Oh, oh god, okay. I'm eating my words. For Soriz, we rebalanced a heavy roundhouse fang. Is that his DP? His DP like? A degenerate 5 frame startup move. I think that property of it is degenerate. That's probably about it. Roundhouse fang. Yep, okay, roundhouse fang. Which has seen ubiquitous uses both offensively and defensively and was difficult for opponents to counter. We've also made adjustments to other parts of his moveset that tended to revolve around heavy roundhouse fang and their usage with the goal of fine-tuning his options in neutral. Previously, heavy impact knuckles would launch the opponent too high on hit, restricting mid-screen follow-ups to heavy roundhouse fang. We've adjusted the launch height so that Source can has additional follow-up options, such as medium roundhouse fang or close standing medium when in the corner. Oh, that's big. That's big, actually. You might get a lot more combos. Not even might. I think he is. Using medium punch the stars. So impact knuckles is this. Punch the stars. It's the follow-up. The multi-punch. There's aura. We'll leave Soar as a limited follow-up option, so we've adjusted it now, launched foes, and made it so we can combo into heavy roundhouse fang mid-screen and close standing light in the corner. Compensate, we've increased the startup by 1 frame and made it so it can only be strung into a combo with a triple attack when the foe is crouching. Okay, so some rebalancing there. Due to Macho Ultimatum's requirement of being under 30% health, it was often difficult for Swords to gain the full benefit of the buffs to his defense and skill. To mitigate this drawback, we've added health recovery upon its activation at the rate of 300 health per Muscle Fury badge. Source's health cannot exceed 30% when recovered this way. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, I kind of laughed because I'm like, how much health are you giving him? But this is actually kind of a very creative way of adding health recovery into a character's kit. Like, say Source is like pretty low on life, like he's got 10% left. If he has enough of the Muscle Fury badges, right? If he's maxed out on badges, he can go from like that 10%, 1%, whatever health, all the way back up to like that 30% marker, which with all those defense buffs, that could make a difference, honestly. While also making it so that, he just. I wonder what the effective health would be. I'd actually have to test that. That's going to be a deep dive for sure. But also basing it off of your Muscle Fury badge, it kind of like leans into it as like your defensive tools where you can contest RPS and try to build up those stocks. It also now serves as a comeback mechanic for the character. That's a really good buff for him. That's a strong buff. Holy shit. In line with the system-wide changes, the crumple caused by reactive muscles will now share the same standing and crouching hit stun. To avoid giving Sora's access to unintended follow-ups on counter hit, we've adjusted the hitbox to push the foe slightly further away, leaving Heavy Roundhouse Fang as the only follow-up option. Finally, as for Heavy Roundhouse Fang, we've decreased its frame advantage on block from -7 to -8, making it easier for foes to punish it. Okay. Reactive muscles. Yo, they really said all that when this is all that the changes are doing. That's crazy. Reactive muscles. Hitbox on hit has been expanded slightly. Heavy impact knuckles launch height has been increased. Heavy roundhouse recovery increased by a single frame. This probably means it's going to be easier. Like characters who didn't have a medium punish before might have a medium punish now. Maybe even like this case with heavy. We have to look. Knockback on hit has been adjusted. This change is to prevent the increased recovery from affecting possible follow-ups. Startup has been increased by 20 frames to 21 frames, so it is 1 frame slower. Grounded now launches foes on the 4th hit. Macho Ultimatum version will launch on the 8th hit. And Macho Ultimatum now recovers 300 per Muscle Fury badge upon activation. Soriz cannot recover above 30% of his max HP. Okay. Eustace. I'm very curious here because I know Elsa has been tweeting all kinds of inflammatory remarks about this character. Let's see if she gets what she wants. Our adjustments Eustace. We're focused on strengthening his starters and combos when he lands a guaranteed punish. Oh, Elsa is not doing well. Checking on Elsa. Somebody do that. Love you, girl. We've extended the travel distance and reduced the knockback on Dash Heavy to make it easier to land a follow-up hit on the foe. For heavy close combat, it was often difficult to tell whether a continued combo was possible after landing its follow-ups. Making it launch should allow for a larger window in which to make the judgment. We've also reduced the recovery of heavy rat race by 1 frame, making it possible to combo into crouching medium on a hit on a standing opponent. Okay, so Eustace is just straight buffed. Oh man, Elsa's not okay. Oh, that's funny. Oh, they got a couple other changes here. Okay. Dash heavy, travel speed increased, lateral knockback decreased. Ultimate slow skill, damage from the first hit has been increased. Damage for the second hit onward has been decreased. Total damage of all hits land is unchanged. Interesting that they changed that. Slow kill. That's oh, what move is that? I know. I'm gonna look at it and I'm going to be upsetting spaghetti once I remember it. Okay, I don't mind me. I'm just gonna pass over him like 3 times. Slow kill. Okay, it is. Okay, it's these fireballs. Okay, that's slow kill. That's right. So it's the damage is more front loaded. Interesting that they would do that. I wonder what purpose that serves. Something with chip, maybe? No, that wouldn't. What? Why? Okay. Well, actually, okay. You know what I think this is? This might be a nerf because I think usually you get the later hits of a slow kill, and so like, hey, if you do that, you're getting less damage. Like they want you to hit with this thing at close range as opposed to the follow-up hits. I think that's what it actually serves. Actually, heavy close combat now launches foes. Lateral knockback has been decreased. Um, Stun Light, all versions also launch foes. Lateral knockback decreased. Excuse me. Takedown, all versions expanded upward is intended to make it easier to follow up into a combo against launch foes. Which one was takedown? Okay, gotcha. Recovery has been reduced by 2 frames, changing frame advantage from -9 to -7. Okay, slightly safer. So he's probably like just consistently medium punishable across the cast as opposed to like close heavy punishable. Takedown, light or medium. Launch height has been increased. Wonder if this means you can combo off of it. Yo, there's a lot of good changes for Eustace here. Takedown heavy. Lateral has been increased while launch height has been reduced. Interesting. Break all versions can now be performed with either the block button or dash button. Okay. Input buffering has also been added, so Eustace will break even if the button is released early. That's nice. Nice quality of life. Heavy rat race. Recovery reduced by 1 frame. Changing frame advantage from -2 to -3. I bet you he could probably do some frame traps with like a heavy now or a medium. I'm actually not sure. I'm curious to see what normals he can successfully frame trap like a jab reversal off of. So Eustace is straight buffed, which you know what? I think the character deserves it. Like only Insurgent is really doing anything with this character right now. So, to my knowledge, apologies if I don't know any cracked Japanese or European Eustaces. But okay, yeah. Vira, I know she's been buffed. I don't know how. With Vera, we've made adjustments to her starters, including ones that lead into her transformation. We've also made changes to improve her combo flow. Ultimate Summon Luminaria is used as a starter to lead into Vera's transformation or as a part of combos, but was often difficult to fit it into the latter. By reducing its startup by 1 frame, triple attack will now combo into it on standing opponents. Oh my god. Allowing for more stable usage in a wider variety of situations. Oh god. That was like the one thing is that you needed to force the opponent to crouch in order to get this to work, and now it just works all the time. That's pretty degenerate. Like, Vera should always be transforming now. That's a massive buff for Vera. I mean, giving her this in the first place was already a massive buff. And now it's it's so free. But I mean, No one was really doing too hot with Vira. There's like one player that comes to mind, but that player isn't really allowed at some events. So, in order to encourage offense after performing Luminaire Emerge, we've made it so that all skill cooldowns now refresh on hit. Oh, wait, what? Luminaire Emerge? That's the name of the transformation, right? Right? Like, hold up. Okay, and I think I just realized what this kind of meant. Ultimate Summon, Ultimate Scarlet, skills, Universal. Okay, a Luminaire Merge. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is her super. Okay. So I thought for a moment that this was when she was in the install state. If she hits you with her skill, like the cooldown refresh, but no, it's when she does their Skybound art. So that's another big buff too, because like basically it's like, okay, you just always get whatever combo route that you want. That's crazy. That's very crazy. That's kind of disgusting. You can do a big cash out combo with like a bunch of EX skills, transform, and then have them all off cooldown again. There's a lot of potential there. Vera is looking cracked, honestly. We have adjusted Heavy Dark Rain Transform Charge to be +2 on block with the intention of compensating for situations where Vera has difficulty gaining an advantage. However, we've also increased the pushback on block to ensure she doesn't maintain that advantage for too long at close range. And I think Darkane is this. Okay, but let's see. Like she's +2, but see what's up with that. Initial travel speed and distance have been increased for Transform Normal. Transformed and Charged. Pushback on the fourth hit has been increased. Block sum of the fourth hit has been increased by 4 frames. Change recovery. So it's nice that you can charge this for a reason in block strings. It's probably going to be good in the corner. I'll have to see. Startup is reduced by a single frame. Yeah, thus you can combo against standing opponents. And all cooldowns refresh on hit. Very, very minor changes, but there'll be some stuff to explore there. Bubs. Okay, I'm curious about Bubs. Not gonna lie, I think he's getting buffed. Okay. Bug fix. Black Spear. Fix an issue where the skill would sometimes greatly draw foes in closer under certain circumstances. Okay, I'm not aware of this, but it's a bug fix. Avatar Belial. Okay, I've heard about one nerf to this character, but I'm curious to see what else they've done. For Avatar Belial, we've adjusted some of his combo routing since it was becoming common for his combos to homogenize into a single pattern despite his varied toolkit. Limiting the usage of certain skills and improving his overall damage should result in more clarity in his offensive decision making. Okay. Each version of Pack can now only be used once during a combo. Huh. The only exception is if Pact is used as a combo starter, in which case the same version may be used once more during the combo. Okay, yeah, no, you would use Pact a couple of times in some of those combos for sure, especially if you had a grounded opponent. Well, I removed the wall bounce from Heavy Carnal Passion. I want to say that's his Rika? Carnal. No, give me that. No. Come back here. Come back here. Where'd you go? Okay, yeah, Carnal Passion, his Rekka. They took away the wall bounce? Yeesh. We've also made it safer on block. Also, by reducing recovery on the second hit, it is now possible to follow up with close standing medium depending on the launch height of the opponent. Okay, so they kind of reworked it a bit, I guess. I'd have to see how this totally functions. As for the ultimate version, reduced the frame advantage -2 since it was advantageous with both evade and block. Okay, so he can't just force his turn again. Like you block it, it's your turn now. Damn, Abel catching a lot of strays here. In addition, in order to compensate for the reduction in overall corner carry as a result of the skill usage restrictions, we reduced the knockback on Blind Devotion and Pact Step. Uh, Blind Devotion Lights. Okay, DP. Packed all versions can only be used once during the combos, except if you start with it. Kick damage has been increased by 500. Okay. I mean, you have to kind of increase the damage here so that since you're not hitting like 2 or 3 of these in a combo anymore, making them hit harder is definitely nice. Packed, kick, light, or medium follow up. Launch height on hit has been increased. Maybe you can get more off of this then. Pack step. Damage has been increased 700 to 1200. Recovery has been reduced by 1 frame, changing frame advantage from 2 to 3. Crouching hit stun has been increased by 2 frames. Combined with recovery above, total frame advantage has been changed from 5 frames to 8 frames. Pushback on hit has been increased. Probably be able to link some stuff. Heavy packed. H follow up. Pack step follow up. Green out causes ground bounce. Rejected truth heavy. Okay, so this guy. Damage has been increased 100. Okay, a significant increase. Okay, total from, yeah, 300 damage increase. Read the second line. Grounded. The final hit now launches foes. Okay, yeah, so they're basically gutting like his long combos that kept you grounded. But who knows? Like, this is gonna feel bad for Avatar Belial players because, like, oh, but the combos I like doing, you're removing them, and it's just gonna be up to whether or not the combos that he's gonna get in return for these are gonna actually be better for him, like in the long run. So I imagine that like able mains will like cry for the first week, and then go, holy shit, we're back, we're so back. Unless like it turns out like he's just straight up nerfed and like they're what is available isn't as good as what was there before. Certainly the corner carry won't be as good. Lateral knockback increased. Carnal passion first hit. Startup has been reduced by a single frame. Wonder what that's gonna do for combo routing. Coverage has been reduced by 3 from -6 to -3. Okay, so you could safely end pressure with that actually. -8 to -6. Damage increased. Damage was increased from 1,000 to 1,000. That's a funny typo. No longer causes wall bounce. But apparently you should be able to link like a medium. Combo Barbados. Combo limit value has been increased from 0 to 3. All versions. Which one's Barbados? Rings bestow. Oh, is this his command throw? Yeah, it's command throw. Comment limit value has been increased from 0 to 3. Oh, does this nerf what you can get off of it? I'm gonna have to lab that. A lot going on with Belial, Avatar style. I'd have to see what's up with him. See if he's better or if he's worse. If he's strictly worse, that would be like the oddest what the hell are you doing side games, Arxis. But we'll see what's up. If anything, this is like preliminary stuff to like try and change how the character behaves so that they could buff him in ways in the future and him not be absolutely busted. But we'll see what's up here. We'll see what's up here. Grimnir. Okay, I know a couple of changes to him. Grimnir has a tendency to be able to maintain pressure too easily after landing certain skills, so we rework some of his toolkit to balance the flow of battle. Ultimate Death Red Tempest no longer causes wall bounce in the middle of the screen, and recovery has also been reduced. This should change its use cases, including in combo routes. Yeah, I mean, this was a big thing. Like, he could catch it from neutral with this by rushing from like 3/4 of the screen, and then like pick up a full combo. And he could use this like if he was kind of far from the corner to then get a big wall bounce. So that whole utility is gone. We'll have to see like if what's there to salvage. Dancing Storm, Heavy Dancing Storm, suspend, affected all aspects of play due to the extended period of time that we remain on, so we reduce its active frames. So this is Fireball, Dancing Storm. It goes away like almost instantly, I'm told. I'm curious, I don't know if his light and medium fireballs linger, but this will nerf some like the Fireball Oki setups he could do before, where you could go for overhead, pick up a combo, right? We made medium void light erasure easier to use in neutral by reducing its startup. All U void light erasure now travels forward immediately after activation, increasing its midair utility and reducing the risk of being punished when blocked. These are his aerial moves, I believe. Active frames of the projectile have been reduced, 120 to 60, so they cut the duration in half. Good lord, yeah. I wonder what you can do with it now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a nerf. Deathrite Tempest, and I think this is when it's like when it hits. I had to look. Recovery's been reduced by 2 frames, changing frame range from -6 to -4. Now only causes wall bounce in the corner. Okay, so you can still use this like near the corner probably to extend combos there, but like mid screen, no. And adjusted. Okay, so that will still work. Startup reduced by 6 frames. Jesus, that's fast. Now always travels forward regardless of jump direction. Curious if this is a nerf to him too. Like it's listed as like a buff of sorts, but I wonder if it can function as that since he uses it in some of the corner routing. 2B, I'm interested in this. Adjusted the skill utility of some of 2B skills to give her greater flexibility in neutral. Ultimate skills now consume 2 skill gauges instead of 3 in order to make them easier to utilize. Oh man. The Granblue community is not going to be happy. Oh, this is going to be funny. This should allow players who wish to conserve their skill gauge to use their SBA gauge instead by using ultimate skills. We've also reduced Pod's A recovery on whiff, making it more stable tool and neutral. This should make it less likely for 2B to be punished for after a whiff medium normal attack into Pod A. I think Pod A is him shooting the bullets. Or it shooting the bullets. Sorry, I don't mean to gender a robot here, but Pod A, yeah, Pod A is the gun. Reduce startup, increase active frames on jumping medium. Should make it more formidable against mid-air foes and help players differentiate using it alongside jumping heavy. Yeah, she's kind of a jumping heavy dispenser. Jump light can now chain into itself 3 times. The second and third attacks hit high and have reduced launch height. Wait, why are you? Why can't she? She's got triple overhead now? Oh man, oh. So Grimnir can't have fuzzies, but 2B can have this. I wonder what you can do with that. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking. Because the thing is, like, if she's able to float high enough and then make you guess how many overheads she's gonna do to you in the corner, that's gonna be obnoxious. Startup frame has been reduced by 1. Active frames have been increased by 2. Multi-strike protocol, light and heavy. The tossed knuckle now bounces on the ground once. It can be struck after bouncing. Multi-strike protocol. Okay, so this one. Light and heavy. Wait, it can now bounce? What? What? If you whiff it, I guess if this is if you whiff it somehow. That's bizarre. Changing total frames from 57 frames to 48 frames. And this is only on whiff. The blocks and everything else should be the same, but I'm curious if somehow that changed. Yeah, then all these only use 2 skill gauge as opposed to 3. Okay, 2B's got some nice buffs. More spammable ultimate skills. Faster usage of ultimate skills too if she's going crazy with the skill gauge. Pod A being safer on whiff is fine. I guess that's fine. Like in case you miss spaces it. Jumping M is better. Jumping light might low key be like the craziest change, and they didn't even bother to mention that in their notes. That's kind of funny. They just want to jump scare it. Vikala. Oh, it's so over. No, nothing. Just a bug fix. Distance from foe after a successful throw in the corner has been increased. Damn, they're giving her that Ed treatment from Street Fighter 6 or Eddie. No, I think it's just Ed. Well, I can't believe I'm blanking on if it's Ed or Eddie right now. I think it's just Ed. Galleon. Bugfist. Primordial. Fix an issue where damage did not scale correctly as intended. Fix an issue where frame advantage after successful throw was incorrect against certain characters. Applied other minor bug fixes. Okay. So, of this patch, no. Out of this patch, I gotta scroll all the way up. I'm sorry, y'all. Lancelot kind of has the most changes. So, 3 of these characters only have like bug fixes. Djeeta got some buffs. Lancelot got some buffs. Percival got like buffs and nerfs. Metera got buffs and nerfs. Ferry got nerfs and mainly nerfed but buffed. I think Soriz is buffed. Eustace is straight buffed. Vira is, oh, she's possibly the biggest winner of the patch. I think it's between her and 2B. Honestly, Bubs is a bug fix. Abel, I don't know what to make of it yet. Until people get time in the lab with him to figure him out. I'm not sure if he's overall better or overall worse. Grimnir is definitely nerfed. Um, to be buffed, Vikala and Galleon are bug fixes. Yeah, so that's kind of it. Honestly, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of like the right vibe. It's good to see them be a bit tempered with it, and then we'll just have to see what happens with the new character as well. Anyways, wow, yeah, 45 minutes. Well, if you watched it this long, thank y'all. Apologies for the laptop microphone yet again. Don't worry, I'm not going to be on laptop mic when I do the patch note video because I'm pretty sure looking at this, um, it's going to be one video because there's some characters that it's just like I could make a 2 minute video for them, but it's like why? I could just group them all together and make everybody click the same video. So hopefully I'll get that done this week. I think I could do this. Genuinely, I could probably do this in like 2 days. Anyways, comment below what you think about the patch, all that stuff. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all around.